Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us here tonight at 6 o'clock. I'm Doug Proffitt.
And I'm Melissa Swan. It looks like winter weather will not let up anytime soon because there's more coming this weekend.
2 chances of snow, and Chief Meteorologist Monty Webb is following the tracking on that. Monty?
Yeah, and Doug and Melissa, we do have a couple of chances, but we're not talking about a big snow maker here this weekend, just some light accumulations possibility. Outside right now, Max HD radar, nice and quiet. What we are doing is watching this system develop and move out of Oklahoma and Texas. It's pushing right into Arkansas right now, and it will be moving across the southern sections of Kentucky into Tennessee overnight through early tomorrow morning. And because of that reason, we do have a winter weather advisory out, mainly for the overnight hours through Saturday morning from Breckenridge, Meade County, Bullitt County, and areas south. Accumulations fairly light. We're talking about a ½ inch or less, maybe a little bit more to our far south. All the details coming up with Futurecast in a couple of minutes.
Thank you very much, Monty. Well, officials with Kentucky Transportation Cabinet are now looking for ways to conserve salt. With less than 150,000 tons of salt on hand and deliveries becoming more difficult, engineers are implementing strategies to stretch the remaining supply. The state's largest reserve of Louisville's mega cavern has been deeply tapped. Meanwhile, Mayor Fisher is giving the city pretty good grades when it comes to snow cleanup.
I'm never going to say, we're an A because we can always do better, but we're close to B+, A territory with A+ for effort and passion from our team. I'm really proud of our team and the way they're getting after it. I just ask all the citizens when they see plows out there, give them some room, help them a little bit, give them a thumbs up, show them some love.
When conditions permit, crews will rely more on plowing and less on treating with salt and other materials.
Repair crews tonight say that closed ramp in Spaghetti Junction right near the Kennedy Bridge interchange should be back open by early next week. Work started last weekend on the ramp from I-65 north to I-64 westbound to repair a deteriorating support column. That column was noticed by a driver in December. Crews say the snow and ice delayed this week's work, but things are wrapping up. With a concrete pour scheduled for this weekend, this fix will make it safe, but it's going away soon. The entire ramp will be torn down next year as part of the ongoing work for the new Ohio River Bridge project. And just about on schedule, LG&E, with the help of the contractors they called in from about 7 different states, got most people their power back on last night. That's about 2 full days after the Tuesday night ice storm. Late this afternoon in Metro Louisville, there were 58 customers still without power, but only 10 of those were from the original ice storm. New outages are being reported now as tree limbs continue to snap with the ice. At one point, nearly 17,000 customers in Louisville had no power. Crews came in from Michigan, Missouri, Alabama, and other southern states. And what should you do about all that ice on your trees and landscaping? Well, absolutely nothing. As the late WHAS 11 weekend gardener Fred Wishy always told us, let Mother Nature take her course. Consider the ice nature's pruning shears. And the mayor's office issued a notice from an arborist today saying the trees bending to the ground will be totally upright again in a few weeks. Arborist Mark White says you will do more harm than good to your trees if you knock off the ice, let it melt.
Well, tonight we are learning more about the suspects charged with robbing a bank and then leading police to Cherokee Park, where one of them suddenly pulled out a gun and shot himself. WHAS 11's Brooke Hash is live downtown at Metro Corrections with more on what police are saying. Brooke?
Well, Melissa, police believe one of the 3 suspects from last night's bank robbery is a suspect in yet another PNC bank robbery from back in December. 21-year-old Lucas Onimus shot and killed himself last night after police surrounded his vehicle in Cherokee Park. It's believed he and 2 others robbed a PNC bank branch off Bardstown Road, but now a surveillance photo is revealing a deeper past. Caught on tape, this man wearing a shiny silver mask entering a PNC bank on Southern Parkway back on December 26th. Holding a bag, he then demands cash from the teller, never displaying a weapon. It was a similar story at a PNC bank on Bardstown Road just yesterday. Police say 21-year-old Lucas Onimus was with 2 others, recently identified as 19-year-old Bradley Scarborough and an unidentified 17-year-old male.
Information that we had received was that 3 men had actually gotten into an SUV vehicle and fled the scene of the bank robbery.
Police found the SUV at Alexander Road and the Scenic Loop, surrounded by children enjoying a snow day along Dog Hill.
The officer came out, pulled his weapon out, and 2 of them went to the ground.
Scarborough and the juvenile immediately surrendered to police, but Onimus attempted to flee in his vehicle down the icy road. When that failed, police say he stepped out of the car and put a gun to his head.
I saw the man laying down and I saw a lot of blood.
Onimus later died at University Hospital. While police continue to investigate both PNC robberies, the only criminal activity attached to Onimus's name came with this photo from Metro Corrections after an arrest on January 29th for multiple traffic violations. Now we're going to continue to unravel the story tonight on 11 at 11. We're going to talk to Lucas Onimus's friends about the man he was and why he might have pulled that trigger. We're live in downtown Louisville. Brooke Hatch, WHAS 11 News.
Brooke, thank you. Former President Bill Clinton, we've learned, is headed to Louisville to campaign for Senate candidate Allison Lundergan Grimes, the Democrat. The former president will be in Louisville on February 25th, but details of the location here in town have not yet been announced. The Grimes campaign says, quote, "We appreciate President Clinton's friendship and are excited that he is making our campaign a top priority." As we showed you here just last night, Grimes is now leading in our WHAS 11 News Courier-Journal Bluegrass poll, ahead of longtime Senator Mitch McConnell by 4 points. Republican businessman Matt Bevin is also running for the same seat.
Well, is the national trend toward more acceptance of same-sex marriage also happening here in Kentucky? This June, Illinois will become the 17th state to legalize gay marriage, but Kentucky remains one of 33 states that still bans it. WHAS 11's political editor Joe Arnold has the results of a just-released WHAS 11 Courier-Journal Bluegrass poll. Joe?
Released 4 minutes ago, Melissa. It depends now on who you ask whether Kentucky is any closer to legalizing same-sex marriage. This poll shows the gap between both sides is narrowing. This November marks a decade since gay marriage opponents celebrated their victory at the ballot box. 74% of Kentuckians voting for a constitutional amendment outlawing same-sex marriages and civil unions. From 74% in 2004 to 55% opposition in 2014 in the latest WHAS 11 Courier-Journal Bluegrass poll.
The public opinion battle over marriage has not been won in Kentucky, but that issue has already been decided.
Last year, the U.S. Supreme Court struck down the federal ban on gay marriage, perhaps opening the door to pending court challenges against state gay marriage bans, like Kentucky's. Neither supporters or opponents are surprised by the trend toward more acceptance of same-sex marriage.
When the people who favor same-sex marriage have control of basically every cultural institution, government, academia, and the media, it only makes sense that opinions would change, but we don't think they're going to change in Kentucky to the point where people will ever be too much different than they were in 2004 when we passed the marriage amendment.
Driving the gaining acceptance in Kentucky are young people. Those between 18 and 34 are the only age category in our poll whose majority favor allowing same-sex marriage, 47 to 46%. But look here at their parents. Kentuckians between 50 and 64 years old oppose same-sex marriage by a nearly 2-to-1 margin.
The emergent generation, this is a non-issue for them. You know, to be honest, the majority of those young people have LGBT people in their lives.
Is what you would expect. I mean, as people get older, they get more conservative. As they form families, they get more conservative. So this isn't really surprising.
Now, since the Supreme Court overturned the federal gay marriage ban last June, federal judges have found same-sex marriage bans unconstitutional in both Utah and Oklahoma. Those decisions are under appeal. Joe Arnold, WHAS 11 News.
And next, a top-to-bottom review of Jefferson County Public Schools. It's underway right now. Tonight, the state auditor gives us a preview of what they've found.
And ahead in Friday Flashback. Why is Fred Wishy in a tree? We bring back the Weekend Gardener, a tradition on this Friday 6 p.m. newscast for more than 30 years. Advice that still applies today. Next. And here's what's on WHAS 11 and ABC tonight on this Friday night. Beginning at 8, it's back-to-back episodes of Last Man Standing, followed by Shark Tank at 9, and then a brand new edition of 2020 at 10. We're on your side at 11 with tonight's top stories and tomorrow's updated Saturday morning snowy forecast. It will make big news right here, and it is said to be the largest audit ever by Kentucky's current state auditor.
Well, tonight we are getting an update on what's being reviewed in Jefferson County Public Schools and their spending practices.
WHAS 11's Renee Murphy has been looking into the district's expenses, and she's joining us now from the newsroom. Renee?
Well, Doug and Melissa, the audit won't be ready until spring, but tonight, Kentucky State Auditor is giving us a preview of his findings so far.
What I can tell you is I think the findings will be substantive, and I think we'll produce a catalytic document that will help the superintendent and the other leaders produce for the people of Jefferson County a school system that is significantly better financially managed.
The audit came at the request last year of the superintendent, Donna Hargens. The district's finances have been under fire in years past, mostly for the number of administrators and their salaries. Auditor Adam Edlin says JCPS operates as the second largest government agency in the state with $1 billion a year budget. He says this audit will lead to some turnaround in the district.
I don't do work that that isn't focused on prompting a change or system improvement. And I think what the real benefit from this audit is the partnership we have with the Jefferson County Public Schools, but it is that we will provide a roadmap for improving the financial operation of that district.
And our recent story about the spending practices of JCPS looked into the thousands of dollars spent on a Vegas conference and a retreat. The audit will review that, and the findings will be released in the next couple of months. From the newsroom, Renee Murphy, WHAS 11 News.
Thanks, Renee. By the time you wake up in the morning, we're going to have new snow on the ground and then another chance after that.
Bonnie's telling us it's going to happen overnight, very late tonight. So it may be while we're not out there driving, but what will it be like in the morning for our Saturday, Monty?
Well, some of us will wake up to just the trace to a dusting. Others of us may end up with a ½ to an inch of snow. I think the best chance for the inch and a half will be well to our south. We do have a winter weather advisory in effect from Meade and Breckinridge County all the way over to Washington County and areas south. Metro Louisville and north up into Indiana. You folks aren't under a winter weather advisory, but we still have a chance for a little bit of light snow. How much? Well, I think up in Indiana, maybe a trace from Metro Louisville south to the western Kentucky. And the Bluegrass Parkway, we're talking about a trace to maybe a ½ inch of snow. And then south of the parkways, anything from a ½ inch to an inch and a half of snow. We're not talking about a big snowmaker here, folks. And then we have another chance for some light snow early Sunday morning. Here's how Futurecast is timing things out. By 4:30 in the morning, we'll begin to see that light snow move into Adair County. So areas from Columbia south early in the morning. Then by 8:30, some light snow for just about everyone from Seymour into E-Town. Again, the best chance for the heaviest snow, and we're not talking about a ton of snow, but we'll be south of the western Kentucky and the Bluegrass Parkway. It's in and out of here pretty quickly, so it's what I like to call some friendly snow. Do watch out. Some of those roads could be a bit slippery early Saturday morning, and then as we move through Saturday afternoon, a little peak of sunshine. Sunday morning, a cold front will move in from the north, bringing with it a chance for some light accumulating snow. This time, however, it's Indiana that gets a chance of seeing some light accumulation, while Kentucky looks to see maybe just a couple of snowflakes or a couple of flurries in the morning hours, and then a chance for a little rain snow mix by the afternoon. And then moving into Sunday night, get ready for another cold night. So the entire snowfall amount for the both Saturday and Sunday, pretty light here, anywhere from a ½ inch to maybe as much as 2 inches of snow. So not a lot, but it will be kind of nice to get a nice little fresh covering of snow out there. Outside right now, the high level clouds are rolling in. Our current temperature 21 degrees, and the winds are blowing lightly out of the east northeast now at 3 miles an hour. Upper teens to the low in the mid 20s for everyone around Kentuckiana, and those clouds will continue to thicken here this evening through tonight. Here comes that little disturbance riding the jet stream, moving out of Oklahoma and Texas on its way towards Arkansas. It looks like it will be moving across the southern sections of Kentucky early tomorrow morning, spreading that light snow in our direction. Overnight lows in the mid-teens to near 20 degrees tonight, a low of about 16 in the city. Highs tomorrow in the mid-20s to the low in the mid-30s. And do watch out for some icy roads early Saturday, then again on Sunday morning. Sunday's high 34 with a chance of a little bit of light snow. Sunday, I think accumulations about a ½ inch or less during the morning hours, mainly north of the Ohio River. Monday and Tuesday, a couple of dry days, but cold, 20s to near 30. Some light snow possible Wednesday night into Thursday morning, then a chance for some light rain on Thursday with a high of 43.
Thank you very much, Monty. Well, tonight from the archives and Friday flashbacks, I got an email from a viewer the other day saying, Doug, I missed seeing The Weekend Gardener. Well, the segment was created by Fred Wishy, one of the original hard news reporters in this newsroom. The Weekend Gardener aired every Friday at 6 p.m. for more than 30 years and was enormously popular. In November of 1979, we find Fred up a tree giving advice for your home.
Wasps or hornets buzzing around homes have been of concern recently, but really there's nothing to be concerned about. Those are just the queens of the paper wasp. They've left the nest, and all they're trying to do is find a place to hibernate for the winter. Don't worry about them. If you should see some using any kind of chemical control, that's just more of a therapeutic exercise for the homeowner. But those wasps have left something behind.
What do you think that thing was up in the tree?
I had no idea. I thought it was something from outer space that landed and was going to engulf us all. I've never seen anything quite that large.
Anytime you deal with a hornet's nest, do it carefully. Once freezing weather sets in, the hornets are gone, the nest is empty, and they'll never return. A lot of people like to cut the nests out of trees and use them to decorate a corner of a den. While we've already had some freezing weather, I wouldn't bring that nest directly indoors just yet. Leave it outside in a cold shed or a garage for a couple of weeks, just in case. I'm Fred Wishy, the Weekend Gardener.
What a nest. And Fred got it out of the tree, as you saw there. Well, Fred Wishy died in 1998 of cancer. He started working for both WHAS radio and TV in 1958. Wishy was an award-winning political reporter, and he anchored the noon and evening news here as well. He wrote 3 best-selling books on local gardening, and he entered the Kentucky Journalism Hall of Fame in 1997.
As Kentucky gets ready to face Mississippi State on the road, John Calipari tries to explain that overanalyzing comment he made.
And the U of L women have a shot to take down the champs this weekend. You're going to hear from the Cardinals next in tonight's sports.
And tonight on 11 at 11, a young man with no criminal record to speak of is accused of robbing a bank, then shooting and killing himself in front of police and several others at a popular park. Well, this all unfolded just late yesterday afternoon. And tonight at 11, a man who knew Lucas Omnibus will be talking to us about his friend and his life. And how would you like to win a $500 gas card? We're giving away 2 of them during the month of February. All you have to do is like WHAS 11 News on Facebook and click the sweepstakes tab to enter. You can enter every day at facebook.com/WHAS 11. That's through February 25th. Good luck.
The last time Kentucky played Mississippi State was a few weeks ago. Cats won by 22 in Rupp. So the game itself tomorrow, not much of a conversation piece. The hot topic today, what did John Calipari mean exactly when he said this Kentucky team is the most overanalyzed team in the history of sports? Calipari says sometimes he just likes to throw stuff out there, but added he only speaks the truth. So what does it all mean?
I like to talk in parables, and those who understand listen, and the others don't have any idea what I'm talking about. But it's the fun thing about being here. I mean, I think it's prepared our players, and it's taken me to the beginning of February to convince these players that every team's against us, everybody's against us.
All right, confession. I have no idea what he means. The Louisville basketball team will have another 8-day break before they play Temple next Thursday. Now, the last time they had an 8-day break, the Cards came out rusty and lost at home to Cincinnati. Overall, AAC teams are 0-7 after coming off a long layoff. So in order to break the streak, Rick Pitino going to try something a little different to keep his Cards from getting stale.
The only mistake I made is we're going to have a scrimmage game in the middle. Now we're going to wait until Saturday to do that. So we're going to have a scrimmage game. Just to play like a real game. We're going to get after it, play like a real game.
U of L women's basketball team doesn't hide it. They, along with everyone else, are chasing UConn. Sunday, they'll get their first crack at the top-ranked Huskies this year in a rematch of last year's title game. Louisville just 1-13 all-time against UConn, but this game will set the tone for the rest of the season.
It's going to be a good gauge of where we are, where they are. You know, you can watch teams on film as much as you want, but until you get the opportunity to see them in person.
We're not backing down from anything, and I think we kind of still have some unfinished business from the way last season ended, and it wasn't the way that we wanted to, but we know we can compete with them ultimately because we made it as far as they did last year.
Definitely a blow for the Cards. Bria Smith will miss her second straight game with a sore knee. Smith is fourth on the team in scoring and leads the Cards in steals. Remember, it's Friday, which means HS Game Time tonight. 26 local teams featured in our Game of the Week. New Albany at Providence in a Southern Indiana showdown. We're going to have it all on HS Game Time tonight at 11 o'clock. That's it for sports. We'll be back right after this.
Okay, a chance for some light snow, I think, here in Metro Louisville, a ½ inch or less, a little bit more down to our far south. Another shot for some light snow Sunday morning, same story, ½ inch or less, a little bit more this time north of the Ohio River Sunday morning, and then we'll keep it cold, 20s and 30s right through next Tuesday.
Hey, remember last Friday night you upped the snow totals at the last minute. I wonder if it could happen tonight at 11.
No.
No.
Are you rooting for it?
Yeah. He is. He's always
He likes snow, especially on weekends. I'm tired of it.
He likes Brian.
He likes Brian.
But join us at 11. You'll want to check it out.
Good night.